Hello, I'm Glenn Anderson. Thank you for joining me today on Eye on the Commonwealth. We have a special guest, Senator Buttons, who is the subject of much controversy around his Senate seat. Thank you for joining us, Senator.
Oh, my pleasure, Glenn. Thank you for coming to my home.
Now, you were forced to step down as senator.
Unfortunately, that is correct.
Now, you've been accused of selling your Senate seat to the highest bidder, and you've been caught on a wiretap saying, "I've got this thing. It's golden. I'm just not giving it up for nothing." And several expletives follow, and more mention of the Senate seat that you were supposed to appoint, but it seems clear that you were just planning on selling it to the highest bidder.
Glenn, what you're referencing are snippets of conversations I had with many of my constituents over a long period of time, and what you and the liberal media are doing are taking these words out of context.
Yes, but did you say those things that are on the tape in your voice?
Again, when the full tapes come out, you'll see that I was trying to do what was in the best interest of the city, and a lot of these quotes that are being peddled around into the liberal media are taken out of context.
The tapes also quote you as saying, quote, "Whoever is going to take the Senate seat, I am not going to appoint them. I'm going to make them pay me quadruple the amount of my salary. That's American tax dollars that I will be collecting illegally for me."
Is that the end of the quote?
Yes.
You could see how that could be misconstrued.
You do know that is your voice on the tapes.
That's correct. I'm not dissimilar from Saruman.
Saruman, the villain from the Lord of the Rings.
Again, you're splitting hairs, but what it is Saruman was actually trying to do very good things for the city. Unfortunately, they didn't have the video recording equipment available to me. He had to talk with Sauron over his Hayden Panettiere.
I think you mean a Palantir.
Again, you split hairs left and right here, and it's just you and the liberal media trying to do the same thing they do to Vlad the Impaler.
First-name basis with Dracula.
You know, I can't confirm or deny that, but we had a steak dinner, and he said, "Hey, Jack, things are going to work out. I will be acquitted. You will hear these tapes, the tapes that were illegally recorded of me, and you will hear the full context of what I was trying to do."
In other interviews, you've said, "Now I know how Jesus must have felt." So you're comparing yourself to Dracula, Saruman, and Jesus.
Absolutely. If your show took place in Nazareth some years ago when he was around, he would have been acquitted of all the charges brought against him. And he would definitely be alive today, and he would be one of my top advisors, and I'd definitely put him on my Senate legally.
I've got another quote from you, by the way. You say, "After I illegally sell the Senate seat, I'm going to expletive, steal a car, drive it into my expletive house, murder my wife, and kidnap my secretary."
Glenn, you can see how that was taken out of context, right?
What context is that taken out of?
You had to be there.
You say, and I quote, "After I kidnap her, I'll keep her for about 6 months as a slave, and then I'll set her on fire. And then I'll put her in my expletive car and push it into the ocean. I'll go on all the talk shows, including Glenn Anderson's Eye on the Commonwealth. And I'll constantly lie and beat around the bush and say context over 20 times. And then I will kill that expletive reporter with my mind." Let me guess. That was all taken out of context. Well, thank you for your time, Senator. That was a good one.
Again?
Yeah!